တိယအကြိမ်မြောက် ARA စာပေပွဲတော်ကိုဖေဖော်ဝါရီလ14ရက်15ရက်16ရက်3ရက်တိုင်တိုင်ကျင်းပခဲ့ပြီးပွဲတော်ရဲ့ဒုတိယရက်ဖြစ်သည့်ဖေဖော်ဝါရီလ15ရက်နေ့မှာတော့ပြည်သူ့လွှတ်တော်ကိုယ်စားလှယ်ဒေါ်အောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်ကိုယ်တိုင်ပါဝင်တက်ရောက်ဆွေးနွေးခဲ့ပါတယ်။
For me, he was a true revolutionary. I thought about it because he succeeded in bringing about a revolution of his own spirit. He remade himself. Again, I suppose there is something in common. ဒေါ်အောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်မှစာပေသွေးကောင်းများနဲ့ဗီလိန်များဟူသောခေါင်းစဉ်ဖြင့်ပါဝင်ဆွေးနွေးခဲ့ပြီးတက်ရောက်လာကြသူများအားလုံးကလည်းစိတ်ပါဝင်စားစွာနဲ့ပါဝင်ဆွေးနွေးခဲ့ကြပါတယ်။ Because she was never in such a difficult position as he was. But also she lived in accordance with her own ideas of what she should be and what she could be.
Okay, well, I think actually in the Chinese culture, there are
ပကံဆောင်တွင်ဒေါ်အောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်၏ဆွေးနွေးချက်များပြုလုပ်ချိန်မှာတော့ကြံအဆောင်၄ခုမှအစီအစဉ်များကိုခေတ္တရနာပေးထားခဲ့ပါတယ်။
It's for the fatherland, who took the place of her father to go into the army because her father was conscripted. But he was elderly, and she so took her father's place and fought the wars and outshone all the men. And only when she returned home did people realize that she was a woman.
Rather than necessarily mental kinds.
I never comment on muscle, I must say.
I see that as a metaphor for something, I'm not quite sure what. Because I've always had a special fondness for Irrawaddy.
If you know that what necessarily might be, do you think?
Sorry?
The pinks or whatever, and then it would be a case of a color discrimination. And then I think it's
from my education in Burma, in India, and in England as well.
I don't even think of it as a separate inspiration from myself.
ARA စာပေပွဲတော်တွင်စာပေဆွေးနွေးပွဲများသာမကစာပေဆိုင်ရာနာမည်ကြီးစာအုပ်စာတမ်းများရိုးရာပစ္စည်းများကိုလည်းစာပေစည်းအောင်ပွဲအတွင်းခင်းကျင်းရောင်းချခဲ့ကြပါတယ်
။ဒီလိုမင်းသားဟာသူ့ဘက်ကအပြက်ကူညီခဲ့တဲ့စုဖျားကိုရွှေဘိုဖိတ်ခေါ်ပြီးတော့မိဖုရားခေါင်ကြီးဖြစ်တင်ပြလိုက်ပါတယ်။စင်မြမရှင်ရဲ့တပီးတော်မဲစုစင်မြမရှင်ရဲ့နမ်တော်မန်နူရဲ့တပီးတော်မဲစုကိုလည်းဒုတိယမိဖုရားအဖြစ်နဲ့
ပွဲတော်ရဲ့ဒုတိယနေ့တွင်ပါဝင်ခဲ့ကြသောစာရေးဆရာများမှခေါင်းစဉ်အသီးသီးဖြင့်ဆွေးနွေးခဲ့ကြရာတွင်ကယ်လီဖက်ကိုနာမိုက်ကယ်ဖာဒီကေအော့ဒစ်တန့်တော်ကောင်းတို့၏အာရှစာပေကိုအနောက်နိုင်ငံသားများကစိတ်ဝင်စားမှုရှိသလားကေစာနုနုကြည်တို့၏မြမအထွတ်အထိပ်သင်္ကေတများဒေါ်အောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်ဒိမ်းကျွန်တို့၏စကားစမီတမ်းမြင့်ဦး၏တရုတ်ပြည်နှင့်အိန္ဒိယပြည်တွေ့ဆုံရာနေရာပကြီးစိန်မြင့်ရွှေရိုးတို့၏မန္တလေးမြို့ဒေါကလတ်ကား၏ခေါ်နန်ဒွိုင်းနှင့်စိတ်ဝင်ညများဒေါ်အောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်လူးစ်ဒီဘာနီရပ်စ်ဂျန်ချန်မက်တာကင်နရီတို့၏စာပေသူရဲကောင်းများနှင့်ဗီလိန်များခရစ်ယော၏ဂျပန်ဆူနာမီအကြောင်းမှတ်တမ်းအစရှိသောအကြောင်းအရာများကိုကဏ္ဍတစ်ခုလျှင်တနာရီခန့်စီဖြင့်ဝေဝေဆာဆာဆွေးနွေးပြပြသွားကြပါတယ်တက်ရောက်လာကြတဲ့ပရိသတ်များလည်းမိမိတို့ပါဝင်ဆွေးနွေးလိုတဲ့ကဏ္ဍအသီးသီးလိုက်နေရာများကိုရွေးချယ်၍ဆွေးနွေးနှားဆင်နိုင်ခဲ့ကြောင်းလည်းသိရှိရပါတယ်
Personally, I think the best documentaries for me are the ones that have a very sort of pure and straightforward proposition. And I think this one does, which is we wanted to find just a few people, I think there's no more than 10 in this film, who could talk about what they saw and why they decided to film it and what they reflected 6 months.
Hi, my name is Sudha Shah. I'm the author of The King in Exile, The Fall of the Royal Family of Burma, which is the story of King Thibaw and his family. Basically, it's a human interest story about a family that once had it all and then they lost it completely. This festival I'm very happy to be at. This is the second time I'm at this Irrawaddy festival. Last year was in Yangon, and this year I'm particularly happy to be in Mandalay, from where King Thibaw had ruled. I've really enjoyed it. They've been very interesting, both Myanmar's writers and also international writers, and also the whole program with music, dance. It's like a huge festival. I've really enjoyed it. I did not know much about Myanmar until I started writing this book. And now I have fallen in love with this country, and I hope to come again and again and again.
My name is Louis de Bernier. I'm a British novelist and poet, and I've come to Myanmar because I received the invitation and I thought, yeah, that's the place I want to go. The festival has been a small miracle because we had to move the venue right at the beginning, and that could have wrecked the festival completely, but in fact the new venue I think is probably better than the other one, and it's worked out better than anyone could have expected. I've certainly had a very good time. It's been very good being here. I've seen some old friends and made some new friends, so I've been very happy with it. I noticed that most of the events were in the form of a panel. I think it would be nice to have more authors reading their work. That's the only artistic suggestion I would have. Otherwise, I think it's been very perfect. Well, I haven't had an opportunity to travel. So being in the hotel is an artificial environment. You know, this is not the real Myanmar. And I do love the food. So what I've done is I've bought myself a Myanmar cookbook. So when I go home, I can make the food.
Well, I'm Jane Hine, and I'm the director of the Irrawaddy Literary Festival, and we've just had the most fantastic conclusion to the second Irrawaddy Literary Festival. It's been great. Was there a difference? I think, well, there are obvious differences, different venue, some different authors, and this time we were able to have the festival in Mandalay. That's really the big difference, and it's been fantastic to be here in Mandalay with the festival. A little bit of a story, thinking about books and not being able to find books in Burma at the time when we first arrived to live here for 4 years, and thinking how sad it was that there were no new books at that time in the bookstores, and just talking about it with friends and thinking how could it change sometime, and the idea of having a literary festival, if it were ever possible, just sort of sprang to mind, and then talking to Dorsu about that, and she agreed that it would be that she would, if we could have such a thing, that she would support it, and it just went from there. It lay dormant, the idea, for a long time, and then when we saw that journalists were able to come to the country under their own names, then we thought, okay, now is the time to start planning the festival. So we did, and we had the first festival a year ago. Well, I'm really, really delighted that we had such a great festival. I'm so thrilled that everyone seems to have had a wonderful time. It's just been a roller coaster of emotions, actually. And I'm really, really delighted that we've had such a successful festival. Well, I think that everyone organising the coordinating the festival authors took more than their share of that concern, because Actually, I didn't even know there was any difficulty until quite recently, and so people were being very helpful and trying to smooth that path to those ruffled waters, trying to smooth the things that were apparently happening. And to be honest with you, I still don't know who these people are that didn't want to take part and who caused whatever kind of disturbance they did. At the end of the day, it all melted away, and it didn't affect the festival at all. So I'm really delighted. We've had a great festival. I'm sure there will be another festival. I'm sure it will be another great event, because the thing about it is that Myanmar authors and international authors clearly enjoy coming together and taking part in this event. It's twice now it's happened, and twice it's been a really good success, and I'm sure that it will continue. Mandalay is brilliant. Mandalay makes me feel very happy. Mandalay has been so supportive. I just want to say thank you to everybody in Mandalay who supported the festival.